Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Grad Student Book Reviews, where we take an academic work and we dissect its thesis and main arguments in 5 minutes or less. All right, today we're looking at The Age of Reform by Richard Hofstadter, obviously another classic in American history. So Hofstadter here argues that the American reform movements, namely populism and progressivism, kind of follow this parabola, if you will, between self-sufficient farmers and the self-made man. Right, so he kind of says that the shift from self-sufficiency to self-made is also a shift between individualism and consumerism, right? Which in turn leads to the shift from rural to urban life. And each phase of this brought out new fears and new animosities between people involved, right? Always towards the others, if you will, since it's business executives versus the factory workers, right, or the political bosses, or those kind of things. To the progressive reformers, each other group represented a threat to self-sufficiency and or those self-made individuals. And in the end, according to Hofstadter, it's the world wars and the New Deals that bring an end to the progressive movement. All right, so how does he do this? Well, he first talks about the agrarian myth, right, and saying that on one side there's the agrarians and the other side there's consumerism, right, or commercialism, I should say, right, and both sides formed this dichotomy of early Americans. Right, on the one side, the farmer was self-sufficient. Right, he provided everything that he and his family needed. They didn't need anything else, but the extras that he did produce, he could sell for cash. Right, and then they could have extra. Right, at the same time, once he started selling these crops and combined with the rising value of land, he was able to turn towards businesses, right, towards making a profit. And often gaining wealth in the process. And then that's when there became this dichotomy between the self-sufficient farmer and the self-made man, right? And then their political views began to shift, one into populism, right? And as the continent expanded, as we moved west, right, the same thing kind of followed with them. On the one side, you have the self-sufficient farmer wanting this extra land out west. On the other side, you have these business people wanting to get into land speculation, right, to make a profit, to sell this land, and this rising value of land, and all of this brings about this kind of explosive capitalism that brings revolt and reform. Right, I said populism. Those that believe in populism argue that they want the good old days, right, instead of looking towards the future. Right, Hofstadter also argues that populist history thrives on conspiracy, right? He talks about a bunch of different examples of people that perceived that conspiracy led to the problems, whether it's international government organizations or he talks about the conspiracy that people wanted to reestablish a monarchy in America, those kind of things. But all of this is the fact that populism showed an unusually strong tendency to account for impersonal events, right, in highly personal terms, right, and that kind of led to this genuine mistrust or even a hatred of the other guy, right? So that's kind of where you get this dichotomy between the self-sufficient family man and the self-made man. Okay, now immigration brings a whole new set of problems to this populist / progressive mindset, right? Because both sides thought that the immigrants did not accept a self-sufficiency type of dream based on an agrarian myth, right? And seeing that the political bosses were gaining control, exploiting this, nativists started to turn their progressive reformer mind towards organization, right? At the same time, whenever any organization grew too big, too large, it became the essence of what it was designed to eliminate, namely unchecked power. Right, and that's kind of where the social reform movements were the result of immigration fears, I should say. All right, so this work is a success, right? Clearly, Hofstadter kind of shows this kind of conflict through the ages between self-sufficiency and self-made, right? This urban versus rural, and then he goes into conspiracy with it's always pointing fingers at the other guy, right? It's the other guy's fault, and he's making everything bad. So in that sense, this is a very successful book, right? The conspiratorial nature of it I think is huge, because especially in today's world of alternate facts, right? This Hofstadter, even this 1955 work, kind of goes back and sees that conspiracies happen then, they happen now. So I think that's pretty cool, and just kind of as a neat side note. So anyway, if you agree with my assessment, go ahead and comment below. If you disagree with it, same thing, go ahead and comment. And as always, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.